Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube, Diggy546? Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. But let's go ahead and get into this. Alright, so after episode 4 of Hard Knocks, we're not surprised. We're not surprised. We all knew what was happening. Going back to draft day, the Giants obviously were trying to move up to 3 to draft a quarterback. Can we finally put this to bed? The mental gymnastics that I have seen to try to say, oh, the Giants were moving up for Joe Alt, or the Giants were moving up for Malik Nabers, or the Giants were moving up for Marvin Harrison. What did Mike Gross say, our wide receivers coach, say? I'll take Malik Nabers over Marvin Harrison. So I don't think they were moving up to take Marvin Harrison. What did Joe Shane say multiple times during this episode? What did all of these folks say? They said, would you trade up for Jaden Daniels? Mike Kafka said, not even Mike Kafka. Mike Kafka said he would trade up for Drake May. Brian Dable said he'd trade up for Jaden Daniels. So that's your offensive coordinator and your offensive play caller / head coach that's saying they want to trade up for a quarterback if it's possible. Joe Shane was on the phone stressed out. I mean, quasi pulling his hair out, almost pulling his hair out, talking to the Patriots saying, we're ready to move up to take Drake May or Jaden Daniels, whichever one is there. And they wanted to move up to do it. They said the only reason, and folks, you can try to blame this on John Mayer maybe, because Mayer said he didn't want to give up heaven and earth to move to 3 from 6. But because the Giants weren't willing to give up 4 first-round picks or 3 first-round picks and then a 2 and a 3, because they weren't willing to give up everything, the trade just wasn't able to happen. But that also doesn't mean that, they were going to just go out and do whatever they need to do or draft a quarterback in the 3rd round to replace Daniel Jones. 2 things can be true. They're moving forward with Daniel Jones because they have to. It makes no sense to get on Hard Knocks and say, we absolutely have to get rid of Daniel Jones. That makes no sense. So they're going to have to put their support on him because he's our quarterback for this year. But at the same time, they really wanted to trade up to number 3 to take him. And they said, listen, if we can't trade up, we're going to take Malik Nabers, which is going to lead me to my second point. The Giants were in love with Malik Nabers. They did not want to trade up for Marvin Harrison Jr. They did not want to trade up for Joe Alt. They were hoping that Malik Nabers fell to them, and he did. And that was lovely to see. They considered moving down to 9 to try to take Rome Odunze or Brock Bowers, and then they even considered moving again from 9 to try to still get one of those players. So the Giants were really open to moving around, but again, let's put it to rest, folks. Let's put it to rest. The Giants, if a trade was possible, a reasonable trade was possible, meaning a 1 next year, a 3 this year, and some more stuff, if that was possible, the Giants would be right now parading Drake May out to training camp today. It's just that simple, folks. Just that simple. And yeah, that I think that puts it to bed. I'm sure some people will say, no, they wanted Daniel Jones the whole time. They were just doing their due diligence. But at that point, you're missing critical thinking skills because they clearly wanted to move up to take a quarterback. I don't know what else to tell you, folks. But moving on, Saquon Barkley stuff is pretty much wrapped up on Hard Knocks. But it really was apparent that we wanted Malik Nabers, and I'm glad they were able to get him. It shows that they really saw him as a fit in their offensive system. It shows that he wasn't like a second option to Marvin Harrison Jr. He was really their best receiver and maybe even their best player in this draft. So I'm excited to see Malik Nabers. First day of training camp today. And maybe I'll talk a little bit about what I heard so far from training camp. Daniel Jones says he's trying to build that chemistry with Malik Nabers. And just because you see me on here saying that it was apparent they were trying to move on, doesn't mean that I'm going to sit there and actively wish for my quarterback to play bad. You'll never see me doing that. Will I say he played bad when he played bad? Yes. Will I say that sometimes when we have the chance to, that he should be replaced? Yes. But you're never going to see me get on here and say, I want Daniel Jones to play bad, because I want Daniel Jones to throw 50 touchdowns. I want him to win every game. I don't care who's playing quarterback for the Giants. I want them to be successful. But today, he talked about building chemistry with Malik Nabers. That's something he's going to have to do. He's also going to have to build that chemistry with Theo Johnson, who may be your number one receiving tight end, but may still not get the most reps. But he's going to have to build that chemistry with these rookies. He's going to have to keep on building that chemistry with Wandale, with Jalen Hyatt, who he's kind of not played much with. So he's got to continue to do that. He's already got it down with Darius Slayton. So we've got a ton of weapons here that he's going to have to get acquainted with really quickly this offseason. He's cleared, so he's going to be taking all the snaps. I'm sure they'll manage him to a certain point, but he's going to be taking all those snaps. I'm assuming that he'll be active in these Lions scrimmage practices that we have. So I'm excited for that. Other than that, Evan Neal is on PUP. Guess what? The same ankle. And I'm a firm believer that Evan Neal would be a good tackle right now if he wasn't always hobbled. And it seems like that's his issue, is he cannot play through injury. Because every time I see Evan Neal put together a good game, I start to see him limping around. He starts limping around, the ankle goes out again, and it just seems like he can't play through it. And if he can't play through the bad ankle, he can't play in the NFL. Just that simple. Aaron Robinson, the guy that many folks obliterated me in the comment. I mean, the hate that I got for Aaron Robinson the day that I didn't like that draft pick was the most hate I ever got on my channel. And I'll never forget that. I always bring it up, but I'll never forget it. Aaron Robinson, I did not like the pick. And Aaron Robinson has not even played. I'm sure some people are saying, well, Diggy, you were wrong, because Aaron Robinson, if he plays, he's going to be a good... Listen, he doesn't play. He doesn't play. He doesn't get on the field. He can't stay healthy. I don't care what he would have done. My gut told me I didn't like that pick. And I don't like the pick. And he has not played. He has not played. He's played like, what, a game since he's been here? He got drafted, I'm pretty sure, by Dave Gettleman. And he hasn't played. He hasn't played. He got drafted by Dave Gettleman, and he has not even played for us. So he's on PUP. Who knows when he's coming back? I think Joe Shane said that Evan Neal should be back soon. But these two players are so frustrating, because you look at Aaron Robinson's skill set. He has the talent to play one of these corner spots, the raw talent, but he's not going to play. And if he does go out there, he's probably going to be hurt pretty soon after. Then Evan Neal, every time, like I said, he puts together a good game, he tweaks the ankle. So hopefully one of these two players will make some kind of an impact, because we need all the hands we can get. Most specifically, we need Evan Neal. Aaron Robinson, I've kind of already moved on. He's not going to do anything for us. But we need Evan Neal to plug in at right tackle. If not, guess what? Pretty sure we just got Greg Van Roten. And I'm pretty sure he's a better guard than Evan Neal has shown at tackle. And I'm pretty sure Illuminor was a solid right tackle last year. So guess what? If Evan Neal can't stay healthy, Evan Neal will sit on the bench. And I think two players that have proven that they play better football than him will be out there on the field. I am not completely sold that Evan Neal just stays as a starter if we move him from right tackle. He could go straight to the bench and wait it out until he gets cut. Or he could be cut this year. I think that's pretty extreme, but it's possible. So I just wanted to get on here and talk about some of that stuff. It's clear that the Giants wanted a quarterback, but it's clear also that they're going to do as much as they can to help Daniel Jones out this year. And we should all be hoping that Daniel Jones plays the best football that he possibly can. We should hope that he plays like an all-pro, even though he probably won't. But we're not going to be rooting against him here. I'm going to call it like I see it. Some people don't like that. Some people want me to say he has good games when he doesn't. But I'm going to call it like I see it. And when I say he has a good game, I'm sure the other half of the fan base will say I'm wrong for saying he has a good game. But that's where we're at with the quarterback situation. And training camp is day one. The pads, I'm pretty sure, with knowing how these schedules usually go, the pads will probably go on next week sometime. Pretty sure we'll start to see some preseason games pretty soon. And that Lions scrimmage is something that I'm looking forward to, because that scrimmage always tells the story. That first practice always tells the story and usually shows us that we're going to be a bad football team. So we'll see how that plays out this year. But happy to be back on here semi-consistently. Second video in 2 days. Don't expect a video every day, but I'm going to be on here more than I have. You all have a good rest of your day. And let me know what you think of that quarterback situation and what you saw on Hard Knocks. And let me know what you think of the situation that Evan Neal and Aaron Robinson has put us in. I mean, two guys that people expect, not me with Aaron Robinson, but most people expected these two players to be contributors and heavy contributors at this point. I mean, listening to these folks, Aaron Robinson would be a Pro Bowl cornerback right now. But I'm going to get out of here, folks. You all have a good rest of your day. If you made it this deep into the video, come on, just hit the subscribe button. I make Giants content primarily, draft content secondarily, and during the season, I'm going to be doing a lot of reacting to pretty much most of the NFL games and everything NFL. So if you made it this deep, go ahead and join the D6 squad.